You'll see.
Hmm?
Hello, welcome to my
Hello.
Other's Keeper. So this is our usual time. I'm not used to going on 3 times in a day. This is exciting. So yeah.
Coming on first thing when I hadn't
First thing
even
when you
woke
woke
up was
pretty special. Pretty special.
you guys got to see all the let's see how much Krystal coughs first thing in the morning.
And she doesn't even smoke. Like, what's up with that? Anyway, okay. So thank you, Ben and Body Illusion. Yes. I'm glad that you were able to be on for this last little bit. After us is going to be Misha with Awakened by the Looking Glass's Reflection. And yeah, so that's going to be cool. This has been fun being on this 48-hour. Yeah, good.
Hi, Joel.
Hi, Joel. So this is how you star. And then this is how
she's teaching me
I'm
how
teaching
to
her how to do some things. So I'm teaching how to use and do that kind of stuff. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to put this onto my laptop.
yes, you do.
Oops.
Yeah, doing it on your phone doesn't work. So, Joel, what are you doing? What are you up to this Christmas? We're going to talk about some things that are meaningful to us for Christmas. And
Hi, sweet tea.
hey, sweet tea, nice to see you. Tell me some of your Christmas traditions as well.
Hi,
Daniel, nice to see ya. Oh, I love seeing all these regulars come on over. This is great. And some who are irregular or unusual.
Not regular to this channel.
Right. Yes. Not regular to this channel.
Please
So,
subscribe, like.
yes.
Hit the all notification
The
bell.
bell for all alerts. Yep. There we go. Hey, Misha. Okay, so
Hi,
it looks
Echo.
like we did properly. So at 7 o'clock, we're going to be just stopping. No matter if we're in mid-sentence, it doesn't matter. Right,
I think everybody knows us well enough to know that doesn't happen.
No, doesn't.
But at least it's Misha who's coming on after us. So if we go a little longer,
or if we go a little shorter, because
yeah.
I mean, sometimes the conversation, like at the devotional today, I wrote down lots and lots of little information after with some conversation that we had that people might want to discuss or have a devotion on later on. So that's kind of cool.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
That's okay.
The devotion.
It was a 59-minute devotion. It was a 59-minute stream, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so either or, Sweet Tea or Misha. Okay, you'll be good this time. Awesome. So let's talk about what we're here to talk about. Some of our favorite Christmas memories. So let's name our top 5 each.
Oh my.
I know, right?
I don't know if I have 5.
You better come up with some.
See, some of them, and this is the thing with growing up in dysfunction, good memories also have bad involved.
Yeah.
And bad memories also have good involved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Misha was wondering why she was on so long during the devotional. She realized she was typing in the village instead of here. Yes, you were. I had no idea that you were ready to go. Yeah. So now we know these things, they have wrinkles. We're going to iron them out and all of that kind of stuff. This year, Joel is having a special event to celebrate. A group of us started to pay what you can vet. Nice.
Oh.
First 6 months has been a big success. Oh, Joel, that's
awesome.
brilliant. Oh, I love that. Yeah, this is that's something that so many pet owners, they have the pets, they want to take care of the pets, but then emergencies come up.
Yeah.
Then like the regular vet bills and spaying and neutering, I mean, like that's something you expect to come up.
Yeah.
But when you have other things.
One of the things that the organization that I'm moving into the apartment with, they actually suggest getting pet insurance for your emotional support animals. So it is something I'm going to be looking into just in case.
Yeah.
And even if it helps pay for something
like a blockage
that happens.
Yeah.
Especially like my Hope, she passed away because she was a brick from the back end to her stomach.
Yep.
Now, the vet knew that there was no way she could operate, but if she had have operated, I wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Yeah.
She was willing to let me pay in installments, and that's how I ended up paying for all of the after hour trips. And
that's good. Okay, so Sweet Tea, oh wonderful. She has going to midnight church service, lighting candles and singing Christmas songs, leaving church and it's snowing. Oh, for sure. Watching siblings open gifts. Isn't that the best? It's just to me, watching other people opening presents. I mean, getting gifts, that's fun. But I really want to watch somebody's face when they open what I've given them. When I give a gift, it's usually something that I've thought of for a while. Or I just really, even if I haven't thought of it for a while, it's like, oh, I know the person, they're going to love this, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's more where I tend to go with.
I just, there's years that I give stuff to somebody and I so want to tell them beforehand because it's something I'm excited to share. And it's like, no, I can't share that because it's a gift for them.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. No, so, I get that.
It's the anticipation.
The anticipation. Yep.
One of our early childhood fun memories, Mom and Dad, they always told us like our living or their bedroom and the living room were kind of across from each other, and they never shut their bedroom door. So Mom had always said that we weren't allowed to turn the Christmas tree lights on until 8.
Oh, okay.
Or was it 7? Maybe it was 7. Well, the one year they didn't specify not to turn any lights on.
Oh no.
So we came out and we turned the living room highlights on. And of course that shone right into their bedroom, waking them up.
Yep.
So we kind of got in a little bit of trouble, but we would always take all of our stockings in and on their bed and open the stockings in there. And
nice. That is a nice little memory, isn't it?
As we got a little older,
tougher to do.
The stockings were opened in the living room, but we were allowed to open our stockings early because there was always something that we could quietly play with in there, which usually sometimes gave Mom and Dad a little bit of extra time to sleep.
Yeah.
But once we knew they were up, we'd take their socks in and give them to them.
Yep. Yeah. No, in our house, one of my earliest Christmas memories was the stocking that my mom made. She did Artex.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it's called now. Like they call it something different now. Anyway, it's a method of it's like a fabric paint.
Yeah.
And they would have had a piece of kind of like interfacing kind of thing, like a felt kind of thing, and then a pattern or a picture, black and white on them, and then you do your filling in painting and that kind of stuff. So my mom made for my sister and I Scooby-Doo stockings. Okay. And I still have mine.
Mom made our stockings as well, and they all had our name on them.
Mm-hmm. Do you still have it?
I don't know. I think it might be up at Dad's place, but I don't know.
That's fair.
I might have it in my Christmas stuff. I haven't been with anybody for Christmas for so long and my Christmas stuff is in totes right now.
Right.
And there's totes in front of those totes because I'm moving in the beginning of the year. So
that's right. Yeah. Joel says that in people and in animals, things happen.
Yep.
It took 3 years of planning, fundraising, and a lot of effort, but it's been worth it. The way the people and the pets look at you when they get help. Oh, that sounds great. One of the most wonderful things is life is pets. They save us from a lot of stuff. Emotional support animals are proof of that. Absolutely.
Yes, yep. I have two. I have to get rid of one though, so that I can move into the apartment.
Yeah, she has to adopt one out. She doesn't have to get rid of.
Wow.
But yeah, when Krystal was first told that she was able to move into public housing, she thought she might have to put down both cats. That was what was in her mind, because she was thinking that the cats couldn't survive without her. They were one-person cats. And that was a huge anxiety. So for her to be able to move to the point where she's now at, I can let Leo have a good life in somebody else's house. You know, that's a big movement for you. And I'm really proud of you, because it was not an easy thing.
There's still part of me that thinks, well, I've had almost 9 good years with Patches. Should I just put her down and keep Leo? But I can't. She's my pride and joy. Leo is too, but he's also my pain in the rear.
Of course, he's a ginger.
Some days it's hard to get him to shut up.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I feel so attacked.
The thing is too, he's not really an apartment cat because he's so vocal.
Yes. Yeah, it would be difficult to have a vocal animal as an apartment dweller.
Especially one who has separation anxiety.
Yeah. Ooh, Joel's had 27 years in animal rescue. Oh, wow. Yes, I recommend to everyone that they involve themselves in it. The life you save may be your own. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
I got both of the cats that I have right now, Patches and Leo. I got them from farms as kittens. But both of them have literally physically saved my life. Patches, when she was younger, before Leo came along, she ended up jumping on my chest really hard. And I have a feeling, the way I woke up, I have a feeling she did CPR in a sense. But just the weight of her jumping on from the height that she was at. Of course, I was sleeping on my couch at that point, so she was on the top of the couch. And she jumped down on me, and she was about 10 pounds at that point.
So enough just to give you a good smack.
Yeah. And Leo has done the same thing. So from the top of my daybed to and he's got such good weight that. Yeah,
he is a hefty little pussy.
But you wouldn't.
He is.
Cat.
Cat. Putty tat.
Yes.
Yes. Joel is a cat person. Cats are very in tune to our feelings and problems.
Yep.
How about dogs? My dog always was. I always had indoor dogs. I didn't have like big dogs that I would keep outside. And the two in particular I'm thinking of, the one that I had all the years I was growing up, I got her when I was 5, and she was put down when I was 18 or so. Yeah, just over 18. And so she would have been a 15-year-old dog or a 13-year-old dog. And she got very old. But anytime I was sick, she was right there. Anytime I was sad, same thing. She was very in tune to my emotions, to my well-being. She was the kind of dog who would, like if we decided to play fight, just she would come jumping up in between us to stop us from fighting. And she would be knocking somebody's hands away. So like she did it in real fights too. But no, like she didn't like any sort of aggression. It was just wild. And there was one time we were babysitting a little baby. The baby must have been about, I don't know, 6 months old maybe, and was in the living room. Nobody was in the living room with her. She was laying on the couch and she started to fuss. I don't know if she was outright crying, but she started to fuss. And the dog ran. She ran from the baby. She sniffed, ran to me, to my mom, to me, to the baby, just ran to each of us like, excuse me, there's something wrong here.
She needs a diaper change.
She must have I think she might have needed a diaper change, but the baby was fussing. And, she was very, very motherly, that dog. Muffin was the best dog. And then I had Katie, and Katie I got when, Doug and I had just gotten married, I don't know, a couple of years before. And we figured, we should try raising a dog before try raising kids. If you fail with the dog, that's one thing. If you fail with a kid, a little bit more going on there. But we figured if we could raise a dog to be obedient and well-mannered and all of that, we probably would be patient enough to raise children. So she was kind of our test case. And so she became just very in tune to what we needed, what the babies needed when they were little. She was never one of these snappy kind of dogs. She was not a yappy kind of dog. She sounded like a big dog. Like if you were coming to our house and she barked at you, it sounded like it was an 1,800-pound Rottweiler. But she was actually only about, 8-10 inches tall and probably 12 inches or whatever long, and kind of this terrier mix type mutt. But she was amazing. She was a wonderful dog. And again, by the end of her life, she was she would just follow me around. She was an absolute, I'm like, okay, I should have named you Shadow, just because A, she's black, and B, she just kept to me like glue on. Yeah.
Well, we had one cat at the farm. When we first got her, I actually went to school and said, I have a baby sister. Because we literally raised this cat on a bottle. Mom found her and a couple of siblings almost frozen to death because they were born in October.
Oh, no.
And this was further north than we are here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Saskatchewan. And so it got cold in October. And so this cat was raised on a bottle. So it was like another sibling. Mom was up every 2 hours to feed her. And she bathed with us. If she heard the water running in the bathtub, she was right there and jumping in to have a bath with us. Because, of course, she was bathed as a kitten in the sink. So she got used to water.
Yes. So, yeah, that's when you have that kind of sibling-like relationship with an animal, it's not that we treat them like humans.
Yeah.
It's more that we, I don't know. Let's see if we can see this here. Hang on, sorry. Yeah, you would have to do that. Anyway, so sorry, I'm going on to YouTube to see.
She's trying to show me some stuff.
Yeah, but they need to be done on the computer instead of on her phone.
Yeah.
So.
But with this cat, it eventually got to the point where, like, all of our cats were allowed in the living room. So, and we always had a real tree.
Mm-hmm.
So what Mom would do, and some people think that it's abusive or whatever, but it worked. We would take the new kittens out to the back porch and we would rub their noses with one of the boughs and then smack their butts.
Okay.
So that they would know that, no, you don't touch.
Yeah.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben. Nice. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. Yeah.
And this cat would just sit under the tree because it knew it wasn't allowed to touch anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really sick the one Christmas, and so all she would do is lay under the tree. Well, it got to the point as she started to get older, she would tell us when it was time to take the tree down. She would sit there and start batting at the lower decorations and bat them off. And once they fell off, she'd leave them and go on to the next one. It was always just the ones at the very bottom.
She was helping.
Yep.
She was helping.
And we'd kind of look at her and say, okay, Mitzi, is it time for us to take the tree down?
Yep, absolutely. We know who is in charge in that house.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. The funny thing is, the last year we had her, she had just started taking the decorations off the tree. And Mom wanted to give it a couple of more days because we quite often would leave the tree up until after Ukrainian Christmas because of the Ukrainian heritage. Not that we celebrated or anything.
No, but still.
But that's just what we did. Well, the year that Mitzi passed away, she had started to take and we were going to wait a couple more days. And she ended up being attacked by a pack of dogs that came into our yard
you told me
and killed her literally like 5 inches from our front door.
Oh.
And Mom literally went out and grabbed her away from the dogs.
I can picture your mom I can just see the rage on your mom's face.
Oh, yeah.
Doing that. Oh yeah, wow.
But yeah, it seemed almost fitting that she went at Christmas time or just after Christmas.
Yeah.
But and we had lost our dog of 10 years. That, like, literally a couple months before that, because he had gotten too old and needed to be put down.
Yeah. Okay, we were talking about happy things.
Yes.
Happy. Putting your dog down is not generally happy. That's usually considered part of the not so happy part of life. So yeah. So
he was a good dog, though.
Yeah, he was a good dog. No, so some of my favorite memories, like I said in an earlier stream, we spent a lot of time with my dad's side of the family. And while the adults were having issues and it was contentious and stuff like that, we as kids would get together and we would play Clue or Hungry Hungry Hippo or, all of these games that we didn't have in our house because we didn't have the money to buy a lot of those things, because that's just, something that you don't have a lot of money to do. If you didn't have it already, chances are it's not coming in anytime in the near future. But my cousins would bring games, and it was a lot of fun to play with the cousins games because they weren't Monopoly. They weren't pick up sticks. There was another one. I can't remember what it was, but it was like pick up sticks where you would drop all of these things and you would have a little hook and you'd pick up like a cane, like a little tiny plastic cane or,
kind of like monkeys in a barrel.
Sorta, yeah. But these are much finer.
Okay.
Yeah, a much finer, like not even as big around as this cord. It would be about half the thickness of this cord, and it would be like a little crutch or something like that. Anyways, so that's the kind of stuff we had growing up. But we always had a lot of fun with our cousins' games. They were usually really good at teaching me because for the longest time I was the youngest cousin. So yeah, they were very patient teaching me in things like that. We would get together at one cousin's place. We would play ball hockey in the basement because all the cousins were boys, except for my sister and myself, and we got to join them playing hockey. And apparently I had a really great slap shot, and they got really annoyed with me after a little while because I wouldn't quit, and it hurt when I would hit the ball, which only made me want to do it more. So
sounds like something I would do.
I have no idea what you're talking about yet. So what's another happy Christmas memory for you?
Well, one that's kind of earlier, I guess, because during the Christmas holidays, we would get together with certain members of the extended family. And between Christmas and New Year's was actually when my Auntie Annie's birthday was. So we would always have them over and have a big meal and have happy birthday for Auntie Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my Aunt Marie and Uncle Vern had 4 boys.
Mm-hmm.
And the youngest of their 4 boys is the same age as my older brother.
He's a bit of a disturber, let me tell you. Yeah. David?
Well,
like he doesn't really have that much gumption, to tell you the truth.
He was actually quieter compared to the older boys.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't see him around his older brothers very frequently. Yeah.
But because they were older, like my brothers are 5 and 6 years older than me,
mm-hmm.
and so they were able to play at the adult game table, which was usually Uno or some other kind of card game. Nothing with an actual deck of cards, because that was absolutely
it's of the devil.
Yep.
Yep. Decks of cards were from the devil.
Yeah, but yep. Uno wasn't.
Uno wasn't, and Rook wasn't.
No, Rook wasn't even allowed in our place.
Oh, really? Oh, we played it at our house. That must have been quite the...
We played it at Bible school all the time.
I know, right?
That's where I learned to play.
Same here.
Not that I can remember anymore, but Auntie Annie was kind of simple.
Mm.
And so she didn't really fit in with the adults.
Mm-hmm.
So she would come in and play dolls with me on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would play dolls or put together a kid puzzle, or because both of us loved puzzles. Mm-hmm. I still do. And those were kind of the fun things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, those kinds of memories are key core memories, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those are really great. Yeah.
I do remember the one of my aunts and uncles and their 4 girls came over during Christmas. And when I say they came over for Christmas, it's usually between Christmas Day and New Year's Day, somewhere in there. And they came over, and I had just Mom made me Cabbage Patch dolls. So they're actually called Blossom Babies. And the first one that I got it that Christmas. And I said to my cousin, I said, tickle its feet. And she would tickle its feet, and I would just bust out laughing as if my feet were being...
sympathetic tickling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and I
fun.
just had fun with that.
For sure. Absolutely. Joel over here, he says that a happy story. He rescued a kitten that was blind in one eye.
Oh, wow.
Named him Sandy. Last year, he found him a home on December 23rd. Today, he's the king of his home. Having a good home is everything. It sure is, isn't it? And I think that's the same for anybody, right? Any creature, human or otherwise, is going to flourish when given love and safety and like all of that good stuff that a lot of people just take for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are those of us who were not in loving, safe homes as we grew up, and you can tell. um, but yeah.
you know, even as growing up in a dysfunctional home, I don't think I realized growing up that it was so dysfunctional, and I don't think a lot of kids do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more in today's day than when we were kids.
Yeah, they didn't talk about the types of dysfunctions that she and I experienced on a daily basis. When my father was being abusive to my sister, it's not something my mom and I even really knew about.
Yeah.
But we just knew that there was a strain in the home. At least that was me. I could just feel this tension, and yeah, my body would react because my brain didn't know what was going on, but my body would react. And that's still what happens. My body reacts before my brain realizes that I'm stressed. So, or at least before my emotions realize that I'm stressed.
Yeah.
My brain realizes before my emotions do. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. No, another really great memory for me was when we were little. We were living in a house on in a corner lot that had tons and tons and tons of plants and trees, and oh, it was gorgeous. But the house itself was tiny. It was tiny, tiny. But man, did I love that home. One of the things we had was a sectional couch. And then if we wanted to, we could bring the sides together and it would make a bed. So we would sleep. I would sleep on one side, my sister would sleep on the other, and we would sleep out by the Christmas tree. And we would always try to catch Santa. We never did.
Ooh, Santa was a no-no in our house.
Oh no, Santa existed in my house. I was about a totally different memory. I was probably 2 or 3 years old. We lived in a place, and I remember being like looking out the window saying, Mommy, it's Rudolph. And you know those great big towers that have that red light, the beacon at the top? I happened to see that on Christmas Eve, and I was convinced you could not tell me otherwise that it was Rudolph. And yeah, it was just that was just a moment of wonder for me. That was so cool. Yeah.
Christmas was definitely not Santa in our home.
Mm.
And it was because both mom and dad growing up had bad experiences.
Mm.
In mom's home, the tradition of Santa was that Santa did everything.
Oh.
So the tree didn't even get the tree got put up on Christmas Eve, but it wasn't decorated. So once they went to bed, Grandma would decorate the tree and put all the gifts under, and she was always so tired on Christmas Day that she couldn't enjoy it. And Mom saw that, and then, of course, as she grew older and found out that that's what was going on, she said, no, not going to have anything to do with Santa. And Dad, when they were growing up, of course, Mom grew up in a city in BC.
Yeah.
My dad grew up on the exact same farm that I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was rural. It was everything came by train.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so all of their gifts came from Santa. There wasn't gifts from anyone in the family. Mm-hmm. And there was 8 kids.
Wow. And
the one year the trains couldn't get through because of snowstorms.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was no Christmas because Santa couldn't get through with the gifts.
Yeah.
Because they were all catalog ordered.
Absolutely. Well, see, now if he'd have had Rudolph, like what I saw, wouldn't have been an issue. In my 71 years of life, I have found that people are the most imperfect animal. Absolutely. In the 50s and 60s, therapy was taboo, and that was wrong. We all need someone to talk to, and I'm glad you guys are here. I am so glad you're here as well, Joel. Just having people in the chat, people who are willing to experience this day with us. It's so special to have Krystal here for Christmas. I can't tell you what this does to my heart, my sweet. Just knowing that being able to be there for somebody who hasn't had a whole lot of happy in her life. Now, I'm not saying we make her life magical. No, we do. But no, I'm just really grateful that we're able to be here with you and that you're able to come and be with us. And yeah, thank you.
I'm enjoying the time. So far, part of it is just sorry.
That's okay.
I guess in a lot of ways, thankfully, so far it's just felt like any other time coming, and that's made it easier. So it just
yeah, it's not like we have a whole pile of big family event and, singing around the Christmas tree beside the piano or the organ or something like that. Yeah, no, we don't.
That was us growing up.
Yeah, I know. That was sometimes us growing up because...
well, my oldest brother played the piano.
Yeah, my sister played the piano.
And he played really good. Like, I think he went to his grade 6 or 7 level.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, of course, I learned by ear.
It's a lot easier with your fingers. So I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my teacher didn't realize, well, actually, myself and... thank you, Joel.
And yes, that is how you spell Krystal. Yep. All of our piano teacher didn't catch on that both my middle brother and I learned by ear. And she was one that she would quite often tape our bigger songs that we were supposed to learn. And then once we had it down, we would move on to another song and she would tape it. And so I was able to listen to that. And I think as she kind of started to realize that, I think she's learning by ear. She stopped doing that a lot of times. And so on those times, I'd go, Matthew, can you play this for me for a couple, 2 or 3 times? Oh, yeah.
So that I could pick it up. And then I'd taste it.
I mean, why would you teach the way a child learns? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
She kind of forced me to go and enter a competition where I had to learn a really hard piece.
Oh, no.
And I completely bombed.
That type of pressure is just, I don't think that's fair to put on a person, but
yeah.
Some people thrive under pressure. Some people don't.
Yeah. I just, like, it was a music festival, and I think it was in the Twin Cities that we went to for that. Either that or Bridge Cities. I can't quite remember, but it was a long way away.
A good hour to drive.
Or more.
Hour and a half. Yeah. Yeah. One direction or the other. Yeah.
But yeah, we would... One of our traditions growing up was Christmas Eve. We would have spaghetti and meat sauce for supper. And things... Because it was such an easy meal to make and an easier cleanup.
You should have told me. We could have made spaghetti and meat sauce for supper tonight.
I did tell you at one point.
Oh, and you want me to remember this?
And you had actually
She's
said
actually met me and she still wants me to remember? What's up with this?
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
I just about had to remind her what to put on the shopping list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 minutes after we figured out we were going to need it.
Yep.
Oh, did they get it, by the way?
I don't know.
You didn't see. Okay.
No, I was told to stay out of the kitchen when my husband and daughter came home.
I was told the same thing, so we weren't even allowed to look into the kitchen.
I'm okay with that. I am definitely okay with that.
Yeah. That's okay. But we would have that, and then after supper and everything was cleaned up because everything had to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so afterwards, because we were a Bible believing family, we would act out the Christmas story.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I was always Mary.
Being a girl.
Being the only girl.
Yeah.
And then my brothers, one year, my oldest brother would play Joseph, and the other one would play the shepherds and the wise men.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom would play the angel and a wise man every year. And then the next year, my other brother would be Joseph, and the other one would play the shepherd and the wise man. Well, the very last year that we ended up doing this, it was the Christmas I was in grade 7. And Mom figured that, let's do this. Let's tape it this time, because we finally had a VHS or video camera, VHS camera.
Yeah.
And so it had been kind of a bad day for me.
Oh, no.
To begin with. We had moved my bird that I had gotten in June. We had moved him into the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we didn't realize is that where we moved him had a bit of a draft.
Uh-oh.
And so he got sick. And when a bird gets sick, if you don't have the stuff, especially when they get diarrhea, if you don't have the stuff to get into them immediately, they will die.
Wow.
And so we lost him. And I have found out years later that I was actually losing my own baby at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it had been a very emotional day for me.
Oh, for sure.
Because of that, losing and being so sick with losing my baby, that I had no idea that that was even going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, emotions were so high with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we were getting a little tired and everything else. And so the giggles started.
Uh-huh.
And of course, we're trying to tape this. My brother, who can play anything on the piano, was hitting wrong notes.
Oh, no.
We were singing songs out of order. And of course, Dad would read the Christmas story from both Matthew and Luke, so that we did the whole thing. And he read a part from the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And so this was all recorded. And we were all already kind of starting to laugh at this point. Well, Mom and I can't even remember which brother was Joseph that year, but it doesn't really matter. I think it was Matthew.
Okay.
But when it comes to, like, Mom was the angel. Oh no, I guess it was when we got to the wise men. They, of course, went to Herod, which was they would go towards my dad and talk to him as if he was Herod, because he was sitting in his chair reading.
The throne.
Yep. Well,
not that throne.
Yeah. His living room chair, not his throne
the other
downstairs.
Yeah.
But he would. Mom said, we have seen we have seen his star in the east and have come to worship him. And at that point in time, we've been doing this for 12 years. And it suddenly hit her that all of these years she had been pointing west and not east. And so
Who makes that mistake?
So she dissolves into a laughter.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And of course, we're all laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And she would wear this white bathrobe that would only come out at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And she would wear it backwards. And it wasn't closed in the back.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So she'd just have her light romper on.
Right.
That she wore around the house. And the video catches her from the back end. And she's doing something and her butt is just a going. So that's all you see on the video is just this big butt.
You have to know her mom, larger than me.
My mother was probably well over 300.
Probably closer to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And it's literally and I haven't been able to see this video for a number of years because I don't have a VHS tape.
Oh yeah.
Player.
Okay. Do you have the videotape?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I think
cool.
I do.
Okay.
I would actually like to find somebody that can put the VHSs that I do have onto DVD.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I haven't sought that out.
No. And from what I understand, it's actually not that difficult to do.
No, I know it's not that difficult. It's just
a matter of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to put our wedding video. It's VHS as well. I'd like to put that onto DVD. And this coming year, we will have been married for 30 years. So I think it'd be a good year to do that. So let's remind me about that, okay? Because I know you'll remember. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, in this video, and I remember because we watched it afterwards, and I remember saying, through the tears running down my face, like even Dad was laughing so hard, the tears were just pouring down his face.
Her dad's face would probably be beet red because the man, he doesn't exhale when he laughs, does he? I could just picture one. You know,
the only time I ever saw my dad cry was when he would laugh so hard that he was crying.
Yep.
Until I was 32.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I saw him cry.
When your mom died?
No.
Oh.
When I hadn't actually had any contact, I had cut contact, and he was going in for one of his surgeries for polyps in his bladder.
Mm-hmm.
And I surprised him at the hospital.
Mm.
And I partially did it because I knew Mom wasn't going to be there. And I had made sure to find out that, okay, Mom's not going to be at the hospital. Okay, good.
This day, this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I almost thought I had missed him.
Oh.
Because it was at St. Paul's, and of course they already have them on the bed, and then they take the bed back. And I thought I saw him go past a doorway. I think that was my dad.
Mm.
And so they eventually took me down to a room where they hold them until they go into the OR.
Mm-hmm.
And they took me down there, and as soon as he saw me, he started crying. And that was the first time I'd ever seen my dad cry.
Well, yeah.
I had seen him just after he had been crying at one point when we just about lost the barn to fire.
Yeah.
With well over 200 feeder pigs in it.
Ooh, bacon for breakfast. Wow.
But it was... But we were all laughing, and in the video, I say something along the line as, well, it's a lot better than the tears this morning with Joey dying.
Okay, great, thanks. Yep. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a memory that sticks out. Just the memory of my mom's big
Her
behind.
butt yeah, that would be quite, and it would stick out all right. Yeah, pun intended. Got it. So what's another? Oh, one of the favorite dishes, one of the favorite foods that our family had was called angel salad. And if you've had ambrosia salad, where you've got the marshmallows and whipped cream and what's it called? Fruit cocktail and that sort of thing on. It would be similar to that, but not quite. And it's a salad. And when I say salad, I say that in the loosest possible translation. It is a dish that is made from cottage cheese and Cool Whip and Jello package, powder package, cocktail, fruit cocktail, and what else? Or is it maybe just those three things? Maybe orange slices or something like that to decorate the top. And you mix it all together, and it is this light, dreamy, soft food. It just is, it's delicious. And we used to get that particularly at Christmas because I had this one auntie who would bring it. Her nationality girl, or her, I guess, family heritage would have been Swiss. So I don't know if it's because she was Swiss or just because she had delicious food. I don't know. But it was from her that we got that particular recipe. And it was just one of my absolute favorite things. So I still really like to have it. But we didn't buy the ingredients for it this year. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good stuff. It is good stuff. I can eat that and that alone for my Christmas meal and be happy. Oh, yeah. That's one of my absolute favorite dishes. Yeah, I had totally forgotten about that until just now. Oh well.
That's okay. Next year.
Next year.
It's next year country around here.
That is. That's our football team next year.
Christmas always meant bringing out the big oak table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it always was out. It was just in the corner of the living room, and it was a big round table, and it just sat with other stuff on it. But during the Christmas season, it came out for when we had my male cousins over, because it had a whole, like, it had leaves that made it huge. It was actually the table that my dad grew up around.
Oh, wow.
Because there was 8 kids.
Okay.
And it was this huge oak table, and my middle brother actually got it.
Okay.
After once mom and dad left the farm, we all got our big thing. I got my bedroom furniture. My middle brother got the oak table, and my oldest brother got the piano.
Does he still play piano?
I think so.
Okay. That'd be cool.
I would assume he still does. I think they tried to teach the boys.
Okay.
Because they've got 4 boys.
Okay. How many kids does your middle brother have?
5.
5. Okay. A pair of twins.
Yeah.
And then 3 others.
There's the oldest is a boy, and then they have 2 girls, and then they got twins. Boys.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And my youngest niece is 2.5 years older than the twins.
Oh, wow.
And when the twins were babies, she thought they were her living dolls.
Oh, yeah.
So she would crawl into the playpen.
Yes, and play with them.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Pick one up and then proceed to try and crawl out of the playpen with them in her arms.
Oh, no. Oh, my word. Yeah, that would be a scary thing. Oh, yeah, they're fine now. Dropped on their head once or 8 times. But, yeah, they're great.
But a 2.5-year-old doesn't really know how to.
No, and is nowhere near strong enough. How old would the babies have been when she was trying to, like, would they have been able to hold their heads up and all that? Or would they have been tiny infants?
Probably within the first 6 months or so.
Boy. Yeah. Hope
Yes.
they're okay.
So yeah,
Oh my word. Yeah. Yeah. So another really core memory for me was when it was Christmas time. There was time um, for the Christmas pageant at church, and my mom would always sew my sister and I each a dress. And I remember one, it was white and it had green. For some reason, I'm picturing dogs, but I don't know if that's right. It's just that's what's there. But it had a beautiful um, velvet ribbon that was the belt. And I loved that dress because that velvet ribbon was just, the texture was so pretty, and it was just luscious. Um, Here we go. Joel, my wife of 44 years in January, and I like going to have Chinese food at Christmas. We're empty nesters, so I will have Chinese food for Christmas. Cooking for two can be tricky. Sure can.
yeah.
Yep.
Cooking for one is tricky.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chinese food isn't an unreasonable tradition, I think. I think that's kind of a nice way to be able to have just a relaxing day rather than feeling like you have to be in the kitchen all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
As I got older, I was the one that was doing all the cooking and stuff.
Yeah. Now, tomorrow you just get to peel the potatoes.
That's okay.
Okay. So
that's like, I went to my dad's place for Christmas a few years ago. I think it was the first year after him and Jan got married.
mm-hmm.
I guess you would call her my stepmom. I don't know.
Sure.
I just call her by her first name.
Yeah. Well, at some point, it's not stepmom anymore. Yeah.
She's dad's wife.
That's right. It's like my mom's current husband. His name is Bob. Great guy. I can't see me calling him dad because I was in my 40s. Yeah, I don't think I was 50 yet when they got married, but darn close. So yeah, he is my mom's husband, and he's a great guy, and I'm very glad she has him. But my stepdad was the one I had right after high school until he died in 2017. So yeah.
Well, dad and his wife have been married now for what, 11 years?
Oh wow, nice.
No, 13 years.
Okay.
They got married in 2011.
Ah, okay, yeah, 13.
But I went there and I had specifically made sure that I was not going to be there when my brothers were there because their families are orangutans while they were growing up. And I couldn't handle that amount of people and everything. And so it was going to be his wife's daughter and her son were going to be there, and that was it. And I thought, okay, I can handle the four people, but I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I went. I had told them that I would have to leave right in the afternoon of Christmas Day because I wanted to make sure to be home for my Kindersley family Christmas. And so everything was going fine. And after we opened gifts, we went to do a breakfast. And as I think we just opened the socks at that point. And we made the breakfast, and my stepsister and her son were told to help clean up the kitchen. And I ended up being the one that cleaned up the whole kitchen. And in the process, I ended up with a really bad stress headache to the point I was puking.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it felt like a migraine,
Well, for sure.
like my type of migraine where
Yeah.
sound and everything doesn't bother it.
Right.
And it just got to the point where I couldn't handle it and ended up in tears. And I don't cry in front of my dad. So that was.
That's a whole nother stressor right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I had taken off downstairs so that I could calm myself down. And he actually came down and knocked on the bathroom door saying, "Are you okay?" No. As I'm puking. But I ended up finally being able to go up and have some lunch with them. And literally as I left, the front tires of the car hit the street in front of their house, and the headache went away.
That's beautiful.
And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But it was just, my stress was having to be in the kitchen on my own, because that had been a constant for me.
That's right. Yeah.
And I couldn't handle it.
No.
And so I went and I had my Kindersley family Christmas, and everybody's in the kitchen, and they have such a small kitchen, and it's like you're bumping elbows and everything else. And but everybody's in there.
Yes.
Guys and girls.
Yep.
So
Joel, thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank you, Sweet Tea, for coming by. Misha's going to be on right away. And Echo, thank you for being here. Daniel, thanks for stopping in. Everybody, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll see you tomorrow
here's
morning.
our hugs to you guys.
And we will see you tomorrow morning at 6:00. And we will talk about more stories behind the songs. So have an awesome evening. Enjoy your Christmas Eve. And I will see you again. Bye.
Bye.